Hey everybody, so this is your week 3 overview. We're going to click into week 3, and if you notice, this is very similar to week 1. All of your modules look the same. I believe in patterns and routines. It helps people learn better. The only thing that's different is obviously the content. So we're going to be looking into chapter 2 this week about physical and mental health as well as healthcare. This is our first social problem we're going to be exploring. So chapter 1 was mostly introducing you not only to what a social problem is, but society and how it works. I like to think of chapter 1 as a quick crash course in sociology. We looked at the structure of society and how it works. We looked at theoretical perspectives in chapter 1 that are going to lead you through the next few chapters. So you will see those pop back up. For example, here in chapter 2, we're going to look at physical and mental health and healthcare through a structural functional lens, through a conflict theory lens, and through symbolic interactionism. So what those do for sociologists is they give them a perspective or a way to look at a problem and say, this is why this problem exists, and this is how we can possibly fix it. Now, we know that social problems are not easily fixed, and most of the time when you fix a social problem, you actually wind up creating more, okay? And so this week you're looking at your first one, so hopefully what you learned in chapter 1 will guide you through this. But chapter 2 is about physical and mental health. So here are your expectations. You're going to read the chapter. So obviously this right here is your chapter. You just click into it. And it is going to take you to your chapter 2, what you're going to read. And you can go from there. Now, as always, this is an interactive book, so I never expect you, I know how long these chapters are, I never ever expect you to read word for word unless that is who you are, okay? Instead, I expect you to review and get familiar with this material. A great tool for that is the chapter review, the test yourself, key terms, okay? I want you to look over these titles. Sometimes you can do some interactive reading. So let's say this title, The Debate Over Single-Payer Healthcare. Turn that into a question. What is the debate over single-payer healthcare? Click into this section, browse, and answer your question. Once you have answered your question, you have sufficiently gotten the information you need from that section. And then you can go back and pick another one. Globalization, healthcare, and medical care. What is globalization, health, and medical care? Click in there, answer your question, go back. Okay, so that's another way that you can kind of get familiar with the chapter without having to read word for word. Okay, I understand textbook chapters are long, all right? It can take forever, and maybe it's not interesting, so you're not even really reading to learn, you're just kind of reading. So do what works for you, okay? As long as you're completing the assignments, as long as you understand the material enough for that final exam, and to apply it to your confronting social problems, you're doing pretty good. But these are great tools. So you can click on the chapter review and it's going to hit the high points of that chapter. Okay, it's going to talk about what structural functionalism examines, what conflict perspective examines as far as healthcare goes. This is a wonderful tool. All right, and then once you've done that, test yourself. Get in here and try and answer these questions to see if you have sufficiently got the information you needed from chapter 2. All right, and then boom, here are some key terms. This is another great way to do interactive reading. Affordable Care Act. With your ebook, you click on it and it gives you the definition. Maybe this is how you want to take notes to help with your final exam at the end of the semester, or to help with that research project you're going to do later on. And so Use all these tools in the chapter. The other tool you have is a read aloud, all right? Normally, these guys are not very interesting. They sound like robots talking, okay? It's not like you're listening to a podcast, but use it if you need it, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to do is you're going to read, review chapter 2. I've given you a PowerPoint and I've embedded them into the system. So if you click here, it's just going to automatically bring it up. This is another great way to get familiar with the chapter. We have learning objectives. It goes over each part of the chapter. You can take notes. You can read from this instead of the book and then go test yourself on the book, okay? Again, do what works for you. However you need to learn for this, do so. You're going to do your mind tap or your explore. So when you click in here, you're going to go ahead and do your little simulation. Okay, it's much like chapter 1. It's just a different simulation and scenario. Once you do your little simulation, you will have those 3 questions down here at the bottom that are directly related to what you did here. So your answers need to be related to what you did here, okay? When you answer these questions, the expectation is 3 to 5 sentences, all right? If you do not give me 3 to 5 sentences that fully answer the question and that pertain to what you did here in your simulation, I will not give you credit for that answer. All right, so make sure you understand what it's asking you and that you are responding appropriately. After you complete your mind tap, you have your confronting social problems exercise. So this one is just another kind of different short exercise you need to do that's going to pertain to the content in chapter 2. So if you click in here, excuse me, you have your instructions. So this one is a great way to help you address social problems related to health and illness. So what you're going to do is you're going to write a short essay, 200 to 300 words, that addresses the items below. You need to submit using a file attachment. And obviously, since this is an online class, you're not going to be prepared to discuss this in our next class session. What you're going to do is you're going to pick an organization, okay? You will choose from one of these, and you're going to go and you're going to find a basic description of that organization. Where is it based? What's its mission? Who does it serve? So forth and so on, okay? Then you're going to tell me what is one way that you could get involved in working with this organization and its current goals. Could you raise money, raise awareness, volunteer, or the like? You tell me how right now, today, you could get involved with the organization you picked. Fourth, let's say that you wanted to get a job with this organization in the future. What would you need to do to prepare for that? Would you need any specialized training? Would you need to go to graduate school? Okay, so this question is about how you could get involved today. But this last question is about if this is like what you want to do with your life and you want a job with this organization, what are the requirements? What skills do you need? What are they looking for? Take these questions, formulate them into a short essay, 200 to 300 words, and then submit using a file attachment. So you just click here and you can attach something. Or if you want to copy and paste it into the right submission box, that's fine, but it will mess up your formatting, so make sure you correct that before you submit, okay? The only area you cannot, and I'm going to stress this again, cannot attach your work is this comment section right here. Do not do that. I will kick it back to you. That is not what this is for. This is not to submit work, okay? I will not grade work that is submitted here. I will make you resubmit it, all right? So again, pick an organization, use these questions to create a 200 to 300 word short essay and attach it, okay? Remember, spelling and grammar do count. And then last but not least, really short chapter quiz. Remember, these are only about 4 to 6 questions each, just kind of like little highlights of the chapter. What I want you to make sure that you do is either have the PowerPoint open while you're trying to do this or the textbook so that you can easily find these answers if you need them. These are open book. While they shouldn't have to be because they're so short and easy, maybe a question is stumping you. Don't get it wrong. You get one attempt on this, okay? Just go find it, okay? So again, quick overview. Week 3, you're doing chapter 2. We're talking about our first social problem, physical and mental health, as well as healthcare in America. You have your PowerPoint to review. You have your mind tap, which is your simulation, and your 3 questions, and you have your confronting social problems activity, and you have your chapter 2 quiz. Okay, so if y'all guys have any questions about the work for chapter 2, let me know. Otherwise, I wish you guys a wonderful week.